Hey there, Jamie from the JMT Mind Gym. I hope you're doing well. I hope this video finds you well. I wanted to talk to you today about our Success Coaching Collective. Now, the Success Coaching Collective is based off looking at high achieving individuals. If you think about athletes, business owners, managers, leaders, their output and their results is directly determined by two variables. Now, if you think about it, these two variables, right? One is potential, okay? The individual's potential. And then the second thing is internal distractions. So performance, output, and results is directly determined by this formula: an individual's potential minus internal distractions. So an individual's potential minus internal distractions. And this equals our performance, our output, and our results. Now, all of us have an enormous amount of untapped potential, and all of us have an enormous amount of potential. And this is directly minimized, mitigated, diluted by internal distractions. Now, those internal distractions can be low self-confidence, self-doubt, low self-image, low self-belief, comparison, imposter syndrome, mindset, the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves and to others. We're all running a narrative in lots of different contexts. So if you think, what's the story you're telling yourself about finance? What's the story you're telling yourself about your skill set in sport? What's the story that you're telling yourself about your family? So mindset is the story that we tell ourselves about ourselves and to others. And that directly correlates to internal distractions. And the Success Coaching Collective is built around that formulaic approach. Potential minus internal distractions equals our performance, our results, our outcomes. And this is what the framework of this program's about. So it runs over 12 months. So over that 12 months, we meet as a group of like-minded people, surrounded by people that are really raising the bar, people that are driven, people that have a healthy level of self-efficacy and intrinsic motivation, i.e. they want to be there, they want to grow, they want to learn, they understand fundamentally that as we grow, your business will only grow to the level of your growth. Your profit, your yearly earnings is a direct correlation of the value you bring to the market. And now the more intelligent you are, the more valuable you are to the market. So that sometimes that's quite an interesting frame of reference. If you want to earn more money and you want a greater return on what you do, then we've got to be more valuable to the market. So the more intelligent we are, the more valuable we are to the market. And again, we understand that viscerally. I understand that through lived experience, and I also understand that through my formal education. So this program, we meet in a group. There are 10 people, 10 like-minded people that are raising the bar. We meet together once a month. Now, on this Saturday morning, we meet for 2.5 to 3 hours. We work on such things as self-belief, developing a stronger level of self-confidence, of self-belief, of self-concept, of all the areas of self which fall under this lovely big umbrella of the social psychology world. So we work on that with the intention to eliminate the self-doubt, to trust ourselves, to know how to make good decisions. Decisions by definition means to make an incision, to cut something away. So we work on all these variables and areas of interest in relation to self. We become more self-aware. We can't work on or change what we won't talk about. So we look at leaning into that. We can't change what we don't first acknowledge. So these are really important areas to dive in immediately. We start to look at growing. We start to look at developing that narrative of curiosity. And again, your business will only grow to the level of your intelligence. So we look to become more intelligent. We look to be more valuable to the market. Your business or your athletic endeavors is a direct reflection of your internal world. So that's something that we look at. We commit to a pathway of growth and curiosity. And thankfully, as a behavioral scientist, I am on the edge, on the fringe of modern behavioral science and what's out there in the performance psychology world. So I'm going to eliminate a lot of the trial and error and get you to the good stuff, the meaty stuff, the stuff with depth, the juicy stuff, and I'm excited for that. We learn to remain calm. We learn psychological and physiological and emotional robustness. So when everybody in your environment's losing their heads, you're calm. If you think about Rudyard Kipling, the poem, and he's got the poet, he's got that wonderful poem called If, and he says, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Such a great line. And that represents, psychological and emotional robustness. So we work on some of those tools of resilience, of antifragility, of mental toughness, a tenacious resolve. These are discussion points that we look at over the 12 months. One of the greatest benefits, I think, and this is where I get great value myself in taking part in these programs, is that we're surrounded by people who are raising the bar. As human beings, we have an autonomic nervous system now, which is great. So massive benefits, opportunities, positives of having this autonomic nervous system. It sort of works in the background so we don't have to think about things. But the consequence, the trap of the autonomic nervous system is that we reflect and we mirror and we mirror and reflect within our biology those that are in our environment. Now, if you're in a chaotic environment, that's going to constantly stimulate cortisol, your fight or flight response, and you'll always be on high alert. So being in an area where there's drama and there's gossip and there's negativity, you think about that in a group environment, in a culture, be it a team or your workplace group or organization, you're going to be constantly on high alert, constantly in fight, flight, or freeze response, which is our sympathetic dominance. But alternatively, if you're in a calm environment, you're gonna mirror that. Your autonomic nervous system is going to embrace focus. It's going to embrace attention, and focus in 2026, ladies and gentlemen, is a competitive advantage. I couldn't be convinced otherwise. Beyond a shadow of doubt, focus is a competitive advantage. And these are some of the things that we look at. We look at our relationship with money, the underlying psychological mechanisms around money. And at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, you need to be making money. It needs to be a reputable and profitable business. That's what we want. So we want to get that return on investment. So we look at some of the underlying psychological drivers of money, how to grow money, how to hold on to money, how to make money. And these are really, really important parts of our growth and development in business. So we work very closely to bringing you as close and as near as we possibly can to that future, better version of you. The JMT Success Coaching Collective is a very comprehensive program. We love presenting it. We run 3 every year, and we've got one coming up in August 2026, the 25th of August, and I would personally just absolutely love you to attend, to be part of it. There's flexible payment options. We provide this service online, remotely. and in person. If you are interested, please comment below, direct message us, get back to us after you view this clip, and we'd love you to be part of this growth trajectory and getting you as close as we possibly can to that better future version of you. Now remember, performance, results, and outcomes is directly correlated to your potential minus your internal distractions. Thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.